From Provo, Utah, this is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Caleb Schweiss. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am your host, Caleb.
And I'm your other host, Joe.
And today we're going to be going over the On the Way to a Smile episode Yuffie. Or I guess Case of Yuffie is what it is listed as.
Called Case of Yuffie?
Yeah, but you know what? The first one was episode Denzel, I believe, in the Advent Children Complete. So I'm going to keep calling them episode blah, blah, blah the whole time, regardless of what they're called.
This one's episode Yuffie.
Yes.
And we still have a half dozen of these motherfuckers left.
We do, yeah. There's
awesome.
A bunch of these. Shout out to thelivestream.net for translating and voice acting for this piece and the entirety of the On the Way to a Smile series. You can find them at youtube.com/thelivestream, I believe is what it is. Awesome. I don't think it's anything fancy, so yeah. That's what we're going to be doing today. What have you been doing in 15? I know you finally got a chance to... What have I been doing in 15?
Well, Schweiss, we talked very briefly last time about...
like 2 seconds.
About the game.
Very brief.
I have now played about 14 hours worth of Final Fantasy 15. Yesterday I did Chapter 4, which was very, very short. So chapters 1, 2, and 3, it was basically, this is the open world.
Yeah.
Kick around, play some quests, or do some, side quests, hunts, and all that other shit.
Right.
And a lot of finding new areas with the car. You finally get the chocobo in around mission, or I did it around chapter 3. I think you might be able to do it earlier than that. I'm not sure. But... I've been dicking around a lot. Finally got to Chapter 4, and Chapter 4 went into fucking awesome mode.
Yeah?
Yeah. It went into fucking awesome mode. And for those, you know all those trailers of 15 with the gigantic monsters that you have to fight and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to fight one of those.
Oh, nice.
And it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm glad. Is that the one that you see in the very beginning of the game? Is that the one that you end up fighting?
See in the beginning of the game?
Yeah, that big bird thing that jumps out at you.
No, not that one.
Oh.
No. Not in Chapter 4, at least.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in... No, I'm in Chapter 4. I'm at the point where I'm with that one dude from Niflheim, and he's trying to get me to go with him on the trip, and the game's like, oh, this is the point of no return, and I'm like, let's stay.
It's not actually the point of no return. It's like the point of no return for the rest of the chapter.
Is that not very long?
Yeah,
then?
Chapter 5 starts and you don't have your car anymore, though.
Oh, well, fuck that.
So,
I'm staying.
in a way, it is a point of no return.
It's a point of no quick transportation, at the very least, right?
No, I mean, you got chocobos. That's about it. Right now, I'm finding some spoilerific stuff with the chocobos and collecting that stuff. So
you're fighting some
finding.
Oh.
So I'm riding chocobos around the map and getting some things.
Oh, cool.
So Schweiss, a lot of people have complained, at least in our circle, a lot of people have complained about the side quests in this game, including yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have complained about the hunts in this game, including yourself.
No, I like the hunts.
You like the hunts?
Yeah. I don't think they're as good as 12 Suns. There's no competition, but I do think they are pretty fun.
Mm.
The side quests so far, though, honestly, a lot of them seem really uninspired, and they have some of the worst voice acting I've heard in a Final Fantasy in my life. I would have to say. There's some pretty bad shit.
I think there's some shit in Final Fantasy X too that is far worse than anything I've come across so far.
Okay.
There's a lot of voices that don't match faces.
Yeah.
That's
and like, what's with
or the accents?
What's with the Brooklyn accent guy? The one dude who's always getting you to go after jewels for him.
Like the Italian mafia guy.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this is taking me out of the game like hard.
But it looks like a dude, like a hipster from California.
Yeah, it does not look like he's busting balls or anything.
No, he doesn't. It's
bizarre. It's not the worst thing though. They're not so it's not so bad on the voice acting end that I don't do the quests, because I'm still doing every single one of them. I mean, that's the reason why I've played as much of the game as I have, is because I'm so caught up in running the extra quests, getting the levels in. I think my guys are in the level 30s right now, and I'm still in chapter 4. I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag for me. I do love the hunts though, and they're really tough. Like, there's a lot of pretty rough hunts that I've run into where they're like on par with me or a couple levels ahead, and it is not easy.
The thing that I've been doing is basically I've been doing a little bit of story, and I've been doing a lot of extra quests. And I have to disagree with you. I think the quests for the most part have been pretty fun. They give you a lot of good exploration of the area, and a lot of them, like going to find the rare wild chocobo and taking a picture of it, or another guy made you take a picture of like these big huge landmarks or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Those ones I'm having a lot of fun with. I mean, there are some dumb quests, which are always in all games, where it's like, go get this thing from this town and come back. And I do that. What's cool about this game, as opposed to, like, let's say if Final Fantasy 10 or 12 or one of the other more recent FF games had one of these quests, or even FF14, it would be an NPC with a dialogue box, and you would just kind of skip through it, follow the mark to where you're supposed to go, and then come back to him. As opposed to Final Fantasy 15, which at least has taken the time, despite some of the voice acting being bad or not matching maybe the faces as much as they should. Despite that, they at least give you like a full story or a cutscene with it, or like, let's say the one guy at the restaurant, the black guy who sounds like a redneck.
Yeah.
That guy. Like his series of quests is like a series of quests, and they're all interconnected with each other. I think it's cool.
Yeah, that part of it's cool, but I don't know. I gotta give the rest of it shit for. They just feel like they slapped him in just to have extra content for us. It's not really so much. I don't know. I do like how they are all interconnected with themselves, but.
What more do you want from little fetch quests? Like, they're everywhere.
Well, they just seem super lazy to me, and they're not fun. They're me just going out and, like, I'm seriously fast traveling to an area.
I think they're a few steps above Final Fantasy XIV's quests, which are similar mechanic ones.
Yeah, but this isn't an MMO. I mean, it's after playing an open world game like Oblivion or even something like Skyrim, these side quests are garbage in comparison. They're bad. Like there's no soul in it. It's just extra stuff.
There's soul in the side quests in Oblivion.
They're fun. That's the game, is the side quests in those games. It's all the extra stuff. That's what you play for. You don't play for the main campaign. The main campaign's awesome in Oblivion and in Skyrim, but the side quests are what makes it. So with this one,
I don't have context for that.
With this one, I'm still doing them though, and I'm not hating on every element of them. I'm just. I don't know. They just feel kind of tossed in, like the last minute. Oh, let's make it 20 hours longer. Here's some side quests. The hunts, on the other hand, I think are really fun. I like going out there and finding the beasts and figuring out how to kill them. And it's cool that there are some of them that are available only at nighttime. I'm glad the game lets you fast travel to night.
Yeah. Let's sit there and wait for it.
Yeah, a good time lapse so that you don't have to just go dick around until nighttime hits. I'm liking all of that. I'm liking the caves so far. I think those have been pretty fun. I'm digging finding the like old weapons and shit. I haven't even used any of them yet, but I like the dungeons thus far. But so I think you're totally ahead of me in the game now. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, I'm ahead of you. Part of me is like wanting to kind of get like a checklist. I was considering it, dude. I was like, fuck, I think I want to get the guide for the game so that I can know all the quests and like do all the quests and get there's one trophy that has you do 80 quests, which I think there's even more than 80 quests in the whole game. I think there's like 200 side quests. At least that's what I saw somewhere online, that there were 200 side quests in Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
And part of me wants to at least do 80 of them, and I kind of want to do them in like a level order. So I want to start with the low level ones and go up from there. What I'm finding is that my level to the hunt level or to the quest level is way off, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, are you
Yeah,
way
so,
above?
like,
Or?
Level 30 stuff, the level 26 shit is difficult,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is something I did not expect from Final Fantasy 15 to have such a I don't know, such a weird scaling level system that it has. I'm finding it just, I don't know, hyper. It's a way more difficult game than I thought it would be.
So what level are you at then? If you're running into these issues,
I'm level 29.
Okay, and you're trying to do 30s or mid 20s.
No, I wasn't trying to do.
Have you
20s.
bought any new
Until
weapons?
I got to one quest that was level 26.
Have you bought new weapons?
I have, but to be frank, the weapons may be the most confusing part about this game.
Go buy new weapons. Go to the Chocobo farm, or
I've bought weapons from other places.
see. I was
weapons.
getting my ass kicked because I didn't buy new weapons because I was thinking Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy.
I'm not even sure like what the stats mean and shit like that.
Oh,
like
really?
There's like a billion things, or like, is it better than my previous weapon?
It probably
Besides the
is, yeah.
attack number.
Once
and
you
then
get-
if the attack number goes up, the weapon is fucking slow as shit.
It can be.
That's what
yeah.
it's been so far.
I don't know. You can look at the stats. Just make sure you got the most damage on. That's all I really cared about. And it made the game way easier. I was getting so trashed, and then Dwayne was like, "Oh, you got to get new weapons," and I was like, "What?"
I just wanted
I
to know
upgraded my engine blade.
where are the
Why?
good spots to go for weapons and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't wanted to look up anything for this game.
Yeah, just check all
But
the
then
merchants.
at the same time, I'm like, fuck. As far as weapons especially are concerned, I'm like, I have no idea
Yeah.
what I need to get.
Each time you get to a new town, just check it.
Because it's not just like attack and speed and defense. It's like 6 billion different stats, and I'm wondering, should I be comparing them to each other? Like, what should I be doing? You know?
Yeah. I just equip it and then check and see what goes up and down. I don't know. It's odd, but
I would have to buy it though, and gil is not the easiest thing to come by in this game. You can do a lot of hunts and get a lot of gil.
yeah.
You might be able to do hunts over and over again and get a ton of gil.
You
that
can,
way.
but it scales down.
But I feel like that was sort of a waste of time to do that. I've just been doing all the hunts that are sort of low level and then moving up from there.
All right, what have you been doing for your level tree so far?
Mostly stat boosts.
Really?
So I've been doing like the strength up and the health up and all that other stuff.
I went heavy into the exploration tree, and I've been getting a lot of points just like passively
Oh, really?
doing shit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's been
probably
nice,
smart.
but since then I've kind of gone into the more stat-based stuff, and it's been helping out a lot, like helping with combos and shit like that.
I didn't expect this from a newer Final Fantasy game. The game does just kind of drop you off and say "fuck you." It does. It did offer a tutorial right at the beginning, and I said no to it.
Oh, I totally did it.
You did the tutorial?
Yeah, I did it in German though, so it was weird.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it helped.
It was worth doing the tutorial.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I still get slammed sometimes, but
Okay.
it was still worth it. I would
Yeah,
say.
I'm not sure. The game is more difficult than I thought it would be. Anyway, I like it so far. I like it a lot so far. I like the interaction between the characters a lot, and Chapter 4 especially is opening up a lot of story elements that, in the exact opposite fashion of FF13, which was all drama and cutscenes at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
FF15 is almost like the sort of middle to end section of most other Final Fantasies, where it's like, have fun, and it's like huge open area,
Yeah.
tons of side quests and hunts to do.
Yeah, no, it's a fun game for sure. You gotta get the fishing down though. 'Cause I
got
that.
it down.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I figured it out.
Do you like it now?
No.
Oh,
It's
what?
still fishing in a game, but I do have to get that trophy, so I will be
Dude,
fishing.
it's gonna take you hours.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that it'll take me hours. I was talking to the people in the Final Fantasy chat room thing on PlayStation Network,
Oh, okay.
Ultima Final Fantasy chat room, and one of our listeners that got the game, that platinum the game, he said, it opens up again in Chapter 8, so just do it again then. And I was like, okay.
All right.
So I figured now's the time to get some story out of the way, because I've dicked around for 15 hours And then maybe in
man.
chapter 8, I'll dick around a little bit more.
I've dicked around for about 23 hours. I'm almost at a day of my life given up, yeah. I've done a shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I've done a fuck ton of side quests in this game, dude. Just a shitload, man. I think I've got the trophy for 40 already.
You don't have the trophy for 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I compared our trophies yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, we both have the trophy for 20.
Oh, shit. I thought it was closer than that.
So,
damn.
and you have to do twice that much.
Maybe I'm taking forever with it then. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm doing a lot of fast traveling with the car. Other people were saying, use the chocobos, but why use chocobos if you can fast travel for 10 gil at a time?
Yeah.
I mean, I use chocobos once I get out of the car.
Yeah, it
So I
kind
can
of
get to the quest location quickly.
it kind of depends. For the exploration stuff, you need to walk around a lot too. So
There was a point yesterday when I was collecting some frogs for this one lady, right?
yeah.
I thought that quest was bitchin'. Go collect these frogs. And fuck, where are the frogs at? And then collecting the little red frogs. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. I don't know why the complaints about the quests. I think they're fun quests. They're just and they're little extra things. You don't have to do them.
Yeah, I hated the frog one.
You hated the frog one.
It's kind of cool because they don't appear.
There was one frog that was a bitch to find, but
Well, I think it only appears once you actually move the camera in the direction of the noises.
Right.
It doesn't actually just show up there.
Did you run across the guy that was asking for help? Just randomly, and then a quest popped?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Over in the dusty part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I helped that guy.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just stuff to do. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, it's just
but-
extra stuff. It's fun. It's being part of the game world. You get a little bit of extra, of the boys dicking around. What type of pictures do you save? Because I always save. So Prompto, in case you haven't played the game, Prompto, even though it's totally a game mechanic, Prompto's taking pictures along the way every day. And so every time you go to camp or every time you go into the motel or whatever, the motel, which is usually a camper, next to a restaurant, which is really weird.
Kind of odd, yeah, isn't it?
They go through the pictures throughout the day, and there's the random screenshots of what you've done, or the guys posing or whatever like that. What pictures do you save?
I save the awesome ones where they're mid-combat and there's
you save
flames and
those
shit.
ones?
Yeah.
Sometimes I save those ones. Most of the time, I save the really awkward looking ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite one, and I'll just have to show this to you because it's ridiculous. Ignis is in center of the screen. We're probably in a battle. He's in the middle of a field, and one leg is kicked up, and then his arms are up, I don't know, making a square with his arms basically, and it's floating through the field, and it just looks ridiculous.
Nice.
And there's other things where one guy's hand is midway through frame or something. The more awkward and stupid the pictures are, the more I want to save them. There
fair.
are some really cool mid-battle ones that happen occasionally, but I kind of like the dorky ones. The ones that make me laugh when I look at them are the ones that I save.
That's fair. I think you see him at the end, during the credits. It shows all the pictures you've taken, is what I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that'd be cool if that is the case.
I don't know for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna look it up because I don't want to look at any spoilers. But yeah,
But I am considering getting the guide, dude.
Yeah?
I'm considering getting the guide so I can have a checklist in front of me.
I'm not doing any guide.
It's not because I need one. Unlike the other Final Fantasy games, besides 14 Realm Reborn, it pretty much tells you where to go.
Yeah, it does. And also, there's nothing missable within this game, within Final Fantasy 15. You're not going to miss a trophy. It just isn't going to happen. So, I don't know.
It looks like they added on the new patch, the 1.03 patch, it looks like they added a New Game Plus sort of mode.
Yeah, they talked about doing that, yeah.
And so there's extra quests to do after that, and then you can you can get your stats back and stuff like that. I think it's probably for the people who are really pissed off that they didn't get the cutscenes and what was it, Chapter 13 that they added cutscenes into?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably something to appease them while also being a really cool mechanic.
Probably. I don't know, though.
Yeah.
We'll find out when we get there.
I'm fucking digging the game, dude. And I'm sad that I have to play Parasite Eve for Nude Clan, and I haven't started it yet.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to plow through that thing soon.
Why are you sad about that? Parasite Eve's a great game.
I'm sad because I've been waiting 10 years to play FF15.
Well,
And now I have to take some time away from FF15 to play Parasite Eve.
that's what happens when you rock 2 podcasts at the same
That's true.
time.
I guess so. Anyway, so do we have any news?
We do, but we should probably plug ourselves first.
Oh, okay. Where do you want to plug?
Well, first of all, you should go to twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy, where you can see us live stream the episodes every week, usually Saturday, sometimes not if there's holidays. You can also see me streaming the games live. I'll be getting back on Final Fantasy 15 once Parasite Eve is complete, which should only take me a couple days because it's a pretty short game. Go to youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. You can see all of our previous episodes and a bunch of gameplay stuff. There's thousands of hours of me fucking around in games on there for you guys to enjoy. You can tweet me at UFF Podcast.
And tweet me at Joseph DeGollier.
Like our page on Facebook, facebook.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. And you can go to our website, ultimafinalfantasy.com, for everything and more. Support the show on Patreon. $1 a month gets you the episodes as soon as they're done mixing, and also some other great rewards for higher tiers. And check out our other shows. Nude Clan, it's a general gaming podcast that Joe and I and a couple of our other buddies run. It's a lot of fun. We do a lot of RPGs. We do listener votes for each of our games. So when there's an RPG, it usually wins. And that's pretty awesome. So
That's why we're playing Parasite Eve next.
yeah, it is. Well, it's also because you and I are doing it, and it's a game that they wanted us to play for Ultima, but now we can play it for Nude Clan and give them it that way. So
That's good shit.
check that out. Now we can talk about some news.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? You don't know anybody who's finished the game that is actually pissed off about them adding cutscenes? It's clear enough what happened. If you pay attention to the story and interactables in that chapter.
We heard some listeners that thought, at least one listener I remember that thought the opposite.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, now I have to replay the fucking game again because I didn't get those cutscenes that they're adding.
I don't know. Seems like it's something you should probably figure out before you release the game.
I agree.
Got 10
You're
years
right.
to...
Part of me is like, well, I'm glad they're adding it. Part of me is like, well, why the fuck should they add it?
Yeah, no, it's good that they're taking feedback, but that's what you do before the game comes out. Not after the game and then retroactively change the game.
Hey, I agree.
But
I fucking agree.
All
I fucking
right.
agree, Schweiss. Hey, I agree.
Good. All right, let's do this. What the fuck? Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait.
Let's try it again. All right, so we got quite a bit of news this week since we didn't do it last week. First up, the City of Final Fantasy Arcade has added Rabanastre as a stage from Final Fantasy XII today.
Oh, cool. All right.
Looks fancy. There's a trailer.
Enjoy it, Japanese
but
players.
I don't care because the trailer is for a game that's in arcades in Japan. So Final Fantasy XIV's Yoshi P had a little interview where he talked about the decline of MMORPGs, female players, and discussed future plans. They asked, let's see, who is this with? Game Focus. It's a Korean website. Yeah. And they asked him, are MMORPGs dead? The MMORPG is dead is a common topic in the West. He doesn't think they're dead. He thinks they're more kind of in a decline and are going to pull themselves out.
MMOs? I think MMOs are just being stretched thin. I think that's the problem right now. Is that there's so many.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's that they're in a decline. I think it's that people play the hell out of one MMORPG and then they move on to the next one. That's kind of what our buddy, quote unquote, Cody did for a long time. He would be on one RPG or one MMO, and then he would kind of get tired of that one, and then he would jump ship and dive into another MMO. It's just, you just kind of lose it after a while. Like, it's got fun features, and then you're like, all right, fuck this, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Final Fantasy XIV, the MMORPG for beginners. Yoshi P believes that the genre itself will come to an end if they don't get new generations of MMORPG players. It's often said that Final Fantasy XIV has a lot of female players, but they never made it with the intention of adding more female players. So, I don't know. This is a bizarre read. And apparently they're still optimistic about 14, obviously, because it's Yoshi P's baby.
Yeah.
I don't think
like 14's going down.
I don't think it's going down. I think
everybody will jump ship.
Yeah, I think honestly what's happening is that people have caught up to the content and they moved on. That's the MMO mentality. You play through the content and then what are you gonna just fucking dick around forever? Some people do. There's a lot of our listeners that have, and they put days upon days into FF14, but other people, you get kind of burned out and you leave it for a little while. Speaking of 14, though, they do have the Starlight Celebration, the nice Christmas event within Final Fantasy 14. So you can check that out. There's a couple new items that you can grab.
Looks like they're all kind of superficial items.
As always. It begins...
Did we play it during Christmas last year? No, it was like Halloween, right?
Yeah.
So we were there during the Halloween
We finished it during Christmas, though. I completed the game on December 31st. It was New Year's. So the Christmas celebration, or Starlight Celebration as they're calling it, began on Thursday, December 15th, and will last until Saturday, December 31st, which works out because they have...
a year ago?
Yeah. They have a login campaign going on right now until, I believe, the 4th of January. So if you guys have paid for a full month of Final Fantasy XIV service, you can jump on, do the Starlight thing, get some items, get those quests done, and, just have a little bit of fun.
God, dude, the idea that was a year ago, sickens me.
Yeah, it feels like we've done nothing in a year, huh?
I mean, because we had, 4 months of FF11, and then we had a few other delays on other games.
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't cover as many games this year.
No, we didn't.
It's freaking me out, dude.
Yeah, we gimped
2016 was the year of...
The year of the Gimp.
Year of the Gimp. What the fuck? Dude, that's fucking killing me.
Yeah, and I didn't even Platinum 10 too. So
we did get through way more commentaries for Final Fantasy Unlimited, though.
That's true. We made up for it in that way, huh? So there's a little bit of a preview for the 3.5 main scenario and new dungeons. Not going to talk about it. You guys can check that out on Limit Break Radio or wherever you get your 14 news. So Final Fantasy Grandmasters, you remember this from the FF11 remake.
Is it up? Oh, it launched last year? Oh, yeah, we probably...
Yeah, they have a new trailer for it.
But they don't... Any news on it coming here?
Nope.
All right, well then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to that though. I think having it as a mobile game is going to allow a lot of people to play Final Fantasy 11 that wouldn't have played it or refused to play it.
I can satisfactorily go, oh, I'm kind of done.
Yeah, that's fair.
I did it.
and then they can finally stop getting shit from us, right?
Yeah.
There
was a patch for World of Final Fantasy. It
yes, if you guys aren't completely done playing this game with 15 being out, which you probably should be, patch 1.02 is bringing PlayStation 4 Pro support.
Should you be, unless you're playing along with us, and then you're putting off World of Final Fantasy till a little further down the line?
Probably. So they're adding a theater mode in the title menu, which allows you to watch events that you've already seen in-game at any time. So that'll be really good if you need a little buffer, if you gave it a break because of 15. PlayStation Vita voice download guide is added. When you select from the beginning or continue, a DLC check will be displayed. If you haven't already downloaded the voiceover DLC, you can. Seems bizarre.
No voice before, and now there's...
I have no idea.
Really confusing.
No, there was voice acting.
Okay.
There's a few other settings. It mostly seems like the Pro compatibility fix. There were some problems with the game using 2K monitors.
Okay.
So look forward to that if you haven't already plowed through World of Final Fantasy. You remember that 30th anniversary thing that we heard about?
Yeah, the rumor?
Yeah, it's a big-time rumor. Apparently, they're going to be doing a big event for it still, but we don't really know what's going into it. So the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary plan is coming to light what a lot of listeners were thinking was going to happen was that they were going to be re-releasing all of the games on PlayStation 4, which would be awesome with trophy support, of course.
I don't think they need to be remade. I think they just need to be ported well.
Yeah. Oh, did I say remade?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
But
ported.
I think that was like one of the assumptions of some stupid people.
Yeah. Who the fuck why would they remake it?
So like the idea is like, 30th anniversary is coming. What other Final Fantasy games are they going to remake? Like, stop. Just like port the good ones that they have already.
Yeah, do
the
a good
best
port.
versions of each game and port that out as a big Final Fantasy 30th anniversary, and then make 11 free, and that you can play on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
How about
so
that?
I guess it's real escape game times FF14 Escape from Bahamut's Grand Labyrinth is opening in February 2017, and that's not the only thing they have planned for the 30th anniversary. Ooh, god damn it, dude.
Maybe they'll announce 16.
Yeah,
this is
maybe.
odd because at the end of... Remember that FF14 was announced like right before 13 came out?
Yeah.
Or like a few months before, or maybe like 2 months after or something. It was somewhere around the time 13 came out, 14 was announced.
So it could be 16.
I feel like 16 needs to be announced, or I don't know, maybe they should just take their time, but the games don't get any better the longer that they make them.
Yeah, it doesn't really help. I don't know. Yeah. Final Fantasy Awakening, which is what used to be Final Fantasy Type 0 Online, is now available to try out in open beta in China.
Okay, well, have fun, Chinese.
So
players.
yeah, the 5 people that are allowed internet, can play it. Nah, just kidding.
Well, they're just not allowed on Google.
They just can't have the free internet. They can have Final Fantasy though. There's a little trailer for this. You want to watch this?
Sure.
Do you give a shit? Okay.
Well, my problem is I don't have sound coming through right now.
All right, you good?
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, there's a nice crystal.
Sweet bass line.
Hell yeah. The brutality of Type 0. Get that shit out of here. The fuck? The old tarot cards.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know they were techno tarot cards, though. They made that little sound.
Yeah. Looks like 2 factions fighting it out here. At least that's what I got out of it. I don't actually know. Oh, doesn't
Okay,
look
some
like it.
gameplay footage. Look at that.
Looks interesting.
Looks like an old action game from the PS2.
Yeah, it kind of looks like something Dynasty Warriors-esque. Just on your little phone screen.
全 CG 电影手游《最终幻想觉醒》。
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, Chinese had the Chinese model throughout, in case you weren't watching it.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think that'd be fun. That's something to just kind of do for 5 minutes and say you've tried it.
Yeah.
Not sure how
Pretty
great
much,
it would
right?
be. It seems kind of just like another one of those cash grab mobiles, but
What are you saying, Schweiss?
I'm saying it looks uninspired.
Oh, okay.
Looks uninspired. So another little note on the 30th anniversary. There's going to be an opening ceremony on January 31st, 2017 at the Toho Cinema in Roppongi Hills. They've announced the event's going to, it's going to be the debut of part of the series' 30th anniversary commemoration project. So we'll learn a lot more about this 30th anniversary thing once that event happens.
Early next year.
Early next year, yeah. I'm pretty excited for it. I want to know what they're going to be doing. Like it's probably going to be something big. Like they normally don't fuck around about. There's going to be
remake FF8.
Oh, I said big.
Later.
They normally give us the future news stuff when it is a pretty big deal. They haven't failed us yet with that. It's annoying. It's really
We
annoying.
will have news.
Yeah,
That's
like with
the news
with
for
the giant
today.
Titan thing that they did in California. That was another one of those things where they're like, oh, something big is coming. I was like, damn it. But so cool. We'll learn more about that.
Oh, will this be like the Uncovered event, and it'll actually just like turn out to whatever they release is going to be the 31st anniversary of Final Fantasy instead?
Maybe. Maybe. So we are getting the first story DLC with the Gladio, which features apparently a classic Final Fantasy villain.
First story DLC for 15.
For 15, yeah, sorry. We're going to be able to fight Gilgamesh.
Oh my god.
I'm fucking stoked. I love Gilgamesh. I hope it's the comedic Gilgamesh that we know and love, which I'm sure it will be since this is Final Fantasy. And apparently they're planning on content that is going to truly blow our mind.
Oh, I'm excited for that
Yeah.
content.
I like having my mind blown. And of course, the Final Fantasy 15 update and holiday pack DLC has launched as of today, as we're recording this, December 22nd. So the free update is going to launch alongside 15 holiday pack. And it's going to have a new game. Plus, after clearing the game, you can start a new game carrying over the data from your cleared game. They added a social networking site, picture frames to your photos, Christmas included, and you can share your favorite photos via social network sites. The DLC, the Final Fantasy 15 Holiday Pack, downloadable content is up today. The pack includes convenient accessories, such as those that make it easier to acquire items, or so that you don't consume stamina. It also includes tickets to participate in a carnival.
Cameron would say Stanima.
Yeah. To participate in a carnival to be held in late January. So they're going to have a one of those featured time events within the game. It's
Okay.
the MMO-y things that were pissing you off before. Additionally, users who have the holiday pack will get more costumes and picture frames via a January update. So it's available only to those season pass holders, so keep that in mind. Accessories within will be a protection ring, a command booster, phantom booster, instant kill victory song, battle technique victory song, fortuitous key, what the fuck that is, stamina anchor, carnival style costume for Noctis. That's coming in January. The holiday picture frames will be in late January, and the ticket, of course, is for January. So there's a couple other things that you can get, including a
What?
the carnival style is okay. You guys have to see this on the thing. It's pretty fucking awesome
What
looking.
the fuck is that?
He's he's like
Is it Rancho?
giant sombrero thing. El Noctis.
El Noctis. What the fuck?
So that's
what
fun.
the hell is that?
it's fucking bizarre.
Oh,
And he's got
my
a
God.
little Moogle hat one, and So are you still feeling kind of negative towards the?
The idea of DLC in a main series Final Fantasy game that's not MMO?
Well, I mean that one, yes, of course, but
Yes.
the stuff, the timed events in the real world time. I know it's kind of MMO like, but if you're going to keep people playing your game, I think that's a great way to do it. And if people are going to be playing your game, they're more likely to shell out the extra cash for those DLC as well. So maybe it's all part of the giant scheme.
It's just, the whole point since Final Fantasy II was that each of these, especially the main series games, since they're not experiments, they're the main series, right?
Right, yeah.
That they're each in and of themselves complete in some way. And the idea of adding DLC at all is, to me, saying the opposite of that. That and story patches, by the way. Both of those things say this is not complete, and we put it out. And it was rushed, and we shouldn't have done that. That's what that says to me. Not the DLC.
Yeah.
DLC looks like a cash grab, and that's annoying as hell. The story content's worse, but either way, when Final Fantasy II came out, despite it being a super flawed game, it was the game. That's all it was. And it was a completely different story from the game before. It didn't take anything from the previous game. Didn't build on it in any way. It's its own thing. Each game has been that way up until 13 and 15 when we get DLC.
Yeah.
So, and 13's DLC was like new costumes and shit. So it wasn't anything big, but
Yeah,
the idea
it
that
didn't
you
even
get to
really-
fight Gilgamesh in this DLC from 15, I don't like that.
Well, we're going to buy him, though, so. I am, at least. I don't know about
Okay.
you.
All right.
I feel you, though. It is kind of cheap. I mean, It's especially for Final Fantasy, and I mean, 12 came out, and 12 was a full game. They released all the content. The thing took me 130 hours to complete, and that was $60 right there.
Yeah.
13 or 15, we've already paid 60
I don't mind
for.
patches that fix things.
Now we're gonna buy a season pass for $40. That's almost another game just to have extra DLC stuff that they're releasing later. I mean, it'll be good to experience the DLC. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to see what they do, but I don't know. The DLC world it's kind of bullshit. It's really expensive. Like it's just a way to get more out of you. Squeeze every fucking dime out of your pocket. So
yeah,
we'll see if it's worth it though.
Exactly what it is. It's less. I'm sure it doesn't take much to develop that stuff either, so it's way more profitable.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, it's pure downloads. There's no physical manifestation of the DLC, so it would be a lot cheaper. Yeah. So
okay, well,
fuck it, we'll try it, or I will, and we'll see if it's worth it.
Do we want to talk about what Yuffie did after Final Fantasy VII ended?
I think we should.
Let's do it. I'm gonna grab a drink.
All right.
That's all right. Slip Nizzle, $25. It's money I really shouldn't spend right now.
Yeah, I haven't bought it yet either. I mean, I haven't even played the game in like a week and a half. It's kind of pissing me off.
Really not?
Yeah.
Just been playing Metroid?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any more energy drinks, or are you out?
I don't have any.
Okay. I'm just kind of dead right now. Can I drink some of your diet soda that hasn't been opened? Not from the bottle, but into a cup.
Well, you might be able to just take one of those monsters right there. Ultra Violence.
I think those are out.
No, they're not.
They're not?
Nope. I think they might be Dwayne's, but I think Cameron bought them from Dwayne. I don't know.
Sweet. 2 carbs. Look at that.
Troy asks if you're going to stream 15 sometime.
Okay, this is the situation I'm living in right now.
Hell.
I'm living at my sister's house, and I just got a job that has me working nights. So I'm working graveyard shifts, and when I'm not working graveyard shifts, I am playing FF15. So, like, last night I had the day off, tonight I have the day off, so I'm going to be playing FF15 tonight. But as it is that I'm living down in Springville, Utah, not where I was living with my parents up in Ogden, as I am now living with my sister in Springville, Utah, because it's closer to my work, I have to be extra super quiet and have all the lights off because everybody's a light sleeper at that place. So I have the game at a very low volume level, and I'm right next to the TV so that I can hear the sound and play the game. Now, if I were talking as well, considering I'm a loud talker, it would just not be a good idea, just because of the situation I'm in right now. The other option is for me to come over here while Caleb is working his late night shift, playing the game right there. But then I can't really talk that loud either because Cameron sleeps down here.
Yeah.
In this house. The only place I would be able to stream it is here. I can't stream it at my sister's house. That, and on top of that, it's also a wireless connection over there.
So it's shit.
So it's probably not as good for streaming.
No. Also, thank you, Pixel Edged, for earlier saying that we didn't do nothing in 2016. We launched a new clan. The greatest podcast in the world. How is that?
It tastes like something else, and I can't figure out what it is. It's like oh, fuck. What is it called? The, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to pick that up during the Steam sale for sure. Get that Civ 6. I'll let you know if that goes on sale.
Oh, okay.
On
good.
Steam, because
Good.
the sale, I think the sale's starting like, oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Dun, dun.
I need my cards.
Dun, dun, dun.
God, where is it?
Okay. Oh, shit. God, what is the fucking candy called? God, fucking fuck. I can't remember the goddamn name of the candy I'm trying to think of. You know where you, like, powder it up and you can, like, suck it in and make it look like you're smoking.
Smarties?
Smarties. Tastes like Smarties was mixed into water.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't so hard. Dude, I thought the stale. I thought the sale was starting today. What the fuck?
Pixel Edge says it started. Pixel Edge, are you British? Or was that Pixel? Unfortunately, there are 2 users with the name Pixel.
Dude, it's okay. There's a bunch of sales.
Confusing.
There's a bunch of sales, but I'm not seeing my fucking my cards. What's going on here?
You are British.
All right, Pixel. We're going to start the rest of the podcast, but I want you to tell me if there's like an event where you get cards for the holiday badge, because I haven't got a badge in Steam in a long time, and I would like you to tell me, because I'm not seeing it on my app here. Anyway, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
All right.
You want to start?
Sure. Okay, so Yuffie, right? Character that
Our favorite character.
our very favorite character from Final Fantasy VII.
Does Yuffie, to you, remind you of my ex-girlfriend in high school?
Maybe her look, yeah.
Yeah, her look and her kind of like peppiness.
For
my entire life, I've been like, not my entire life, obviously, but for like the last few years, since I've started playing the FF games, that Yuffie has always reminded me of her, and now I hate Yuffie even more.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I never really met her. I only saw her like twice.
Okay.
And we were doing Halloween one of those times, so that doesn't really count. She wasn't playing Halo, of course.
Oh, you mean she was making out with me?
She probably could have held her own against half of those people there. It was a freaking joke. There's only like 4 of us that were good, and I didn't even have an Xbox.
You must have gone on a Halloween when I didn't have. No, there was sick players.
There's some really good people there, yeah. No, there are, and there's always at least 3 people that I could never beat at your Halloween events.
Oh yeah, they're gods.
Yeah, they're sick. I'm just like, I can't do anything.
They should have like started doing like pro,
MLG and shit. Yeah,
like pro shit. They were that fucking good, dude.
Anyway, basically with episode Yuffie, it starts out and
our favorite character, Yuffie.
Our very favorite character, and I'm instantly annoyed with the voice. Now, I give props because I think the casting for her voice in this was excellent. I think the girl who did the voice acting for Yuffie was like,
I agree,
top notch.
She was,
and it was annoying, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like her annoying little laughing.
Annoying? You mean your favorite?
Yeah, annoyed. Favorite annoyed. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she keeps referencing everyone as being like war buddies and talking about how much she helped out. And you know, when I was playing Final Fantasy VII, she was a bench warmer for the bench warmers, right?
Her and Kate Sith.
Yeah, no, there's no reason to use Yuffie in my mind when I'm playing Final Fantasy. She steals your stuff. She makes you go all the way down to her shitty Wutai town, and you got to get it all back. Fun dungeon though. It's a great dungeon in that palace.
Well, I did that stuff for the first time on this playthrough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I did it this time too. Yeah, I did almost everything, I think.
Right, we both did almost everything. I didn't fight the 2 mega weapons.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking sick.
Just didn't want to do with it.
So, throughout this whole thing, yeah, she's always referencing being war buddies and helping everybody out. I don't remember when, but...
and the other guys are kind of annoyed, it seems like.
Yeah, they feel a similar sentiment as us players do towards Yuffie.
Yeah, and when they decide to split up, she's like, hey, can I have half the materia? It's like, bitch, no, you can't have half the materia.
Yeah, you already stole, like, probably half of it. Now you're going to steal... You want to have half of the half that you didn't steal, then making it 3/4 of our stuff. Now, get the fuck out of here. And she can't do anything to you because she's underleveled because we didn't use it.
That's
so
exactly why.
She can't stop us.
Yeah, it's canon right there.
Right, yeah. So Yuffie heads back to Wutai after all the events of 7. Her father needs her help, and I guess her father believes that the universe's will is what summoned Meteor, which is kind of bizarre. He believes that the universe wanted the planet to be destroyed, but the planet was like, no. And then summoned the life stream and stopped it. So he's got a really bleak outlook on life. It's kind of weird, and that's something that I thought was pretty bizarre. And then and then the story was like, oh, well, that's what her father believes. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought this thing was trying to tell me that the universe sent it. I'm like, no.
It's that her dumb father,
yeah,
who's very steeped in tradition and sort of the spirituality of the planet.
Right.
He believes that that's what summoned Meteor, as opposed to some other crazy thing.
As opposed to Sephiroth summoning material. So Wutai, they're heading back to Wutai, and it kind of looks like the slums. The live stream came in and really crashed their party. Her father's also greatly voice acted as well.
I think so too. Yeah,
pretty 5-star.
Pretty good
up to this point, I would say. And also, with all the stuff that happens after 7, we know about the stigma and all this illness. But this is them figuring out about the stigma because this is in between 7 and Advent, right? Which I didn't know last time, or wasn't sure, or something fucking disconnected in my brain.
That's usually the way it is.
Yeah, and so she's Dr. Yuffie, I guess. And I would say that I can't think of a worse Final Fantasy character to be a doctor, but that's not true. I think I would trust Yuffie more than Selphie. I would trust Yuffie way more than Riku.
Okay. Riku and her are like tied.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's what I
Riku
think.
is way more.
Unfortunately, Riku is voice acted, so we got to hear her voice throughout FF10. As far as like dumb Lolita character. Now, what was the other one you were saying? Selphie.
Yeah.
Selphie has been trained in a military school. I'm sure she has some at least some first aid training. First responder sort of thing going on. I bet she'd be better at.
Okay, I would still be concerned if she was my doctor, but I suppose she may have a little bit more training than Yuffie, the materia hunter.
Right, / martial arts artist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Where the fuck does the doctor thing come in from? Is it like an Eastern holistic healing? That's kind of what I was getting from it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't an actual hospital. It was sort of her magical healing.
Well, they're using
power of materia in her mind or something like that.
Yeah, they're using materia, and apparently her mind isn't powerful enough to really handle it, so she gets kind of burnt out after a day, which isn't surprising.
Wait, Yuffie's mind isn't...
No.
It's not power...
Not quite, no. Not quite powerful enough to handle this stuff. She crashes for the night, and her dad locks her in a room like a psychopath, and the town apparently believes that she's bringing death and destruction. You know, the chick who's been here a day, who's been here healing the people who are sick, brought the sickness to the people. Okay, now I'm starting to think that her dad's...
sickness, man.
I think her dad's a fucking idiot at this point. Like, she literally came into town. And as far as I could tell, maybe I missed a time lapse in there.
No silly Wutai.
She's just been here. Yeah, their beliefs are absurd. They think that she brought this thing that's been affecting them for days. This day, come on. So they lock her in the room, accusing her that she brought the death plague upon them. And her childhood friend named Yuri, breaks her out, and then they run to the hills. Basically escaping. So he reveals that the town's upset, and they think that Yuffie was infected with this thing that's making all the people sick that she was playing doctor for. And this is where she gets like really possessive of everything in this thing. Like she's trying to steal everything. She steals Red 13's phone at one point, and she's always talking about stealing.
How the fuck does Red 13 have a phone?
Dude,
how the fuck?
This 7...
That makes no goddamn motherfucking sense.
Final Fantasy 7 as of Advent Children. Just yeah.
How does he put it up to his ear?
I don't fucking know.
How does he answer the phone?
You know what? He had the PHS in 7.
Maybe he's got like a big button on his belly and he has to like lick his crotch to
activate it.
To activate it.
No, he has to lick his crotch to no, never mind. Activate it with something else.
Oh boy.
That's fucked up.
Oh boy.
So yeah, no. During this whole thing, though, she's becoming almost Gollum-esque with the materia. She's like trying to steal, and she sees it, and like fucking everything goes quiet, and she just hears.
She's a klepto.
She just hears the clanking of the materia in people's hands, like clink, 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 clink. She doesn't hear him speak anymore. Goes crazy. So she tries to call everybody else on the PHS to see what's going on, and no one answers. And I made a joke while I was watching it.
Well, Red 13 can't. It probably takes him 13 minutes to...
Yeah, that's why they call him Red 13. That's how long it takes him to answer his fucking phone.
His joints just don't work with a phone.
Yeah.
They just can't, unless they like did some fucked up, like Hojo did some sick surgery to make his arms like have that extra joint.
Yeah.
Or like his shoulders so that he can answer the fucking phone.
Jesus.
I want him to have the cell phone capabilities.
Yeah. Go mobile. So I made a joke here that everyone gave Yuffie the wrong number, and everyone gave her 8675309, and like she's scrolling through her phone, and every contact has that number on it. She's probably like, oh, God damn it.
Damn it, guys, that's not funny.
Yeah, so they go to this little cave, and they find some monster in the cave, and while they're fighting it, a hole gets shot in the wall, and this like black watery liquid starts seeping from the hole, and of course it's pouring all around everybody, and eventually when they're trying to get out, Yuri actually collapses and is super weakened by this black liquid that we later learn and knew pretty much the whole time. It was the geostigma shit, which is what's going on with the village and whatever causes that. So Red 13 now enters, and he talks. This is the bizarre part where he talks about his new phone. Like he acknowledges the fact that he has a new phone, and he even acknowledges the fact that it's a pain in the ass for him to use this phone. He acknowledges, he's like, yeah, I have to claw it for a little while before it works, but I get the job done.
Okay, so this is the 10th anniversary of FF7, so it was around 2007-ish.
Yeah, 07, yeah.
Okay.
What's with the cell phone obsession?
The cell phone obsession.
Dirge. Remember Dirge? Your menu is your cell phone. Like
you don't have a phone? No.
Yeah. Where they're getting on Vincent. He's like, Vincent, don't text.
I just dropped it somewhere.
Yeah. He's like, I left it at home. What's the big fucking deal here? I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, but, I mean, cell phones have been ingrained in Japanese culture. I think it was more widespread. It was spread wider faster than it did here.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
it's got to be.
Cell phones have been
like
around since like the mid '80s, but it was like a slow build.
Yeah. Strike Night. They did have the PHS thing, but we're talking like big emphasis on cell phones.
Yeah, like cell phones being like a huge.
The PHS was just a way to like implement party swapping in it to make sense, more or less. And I mean, I guess it is sort of rudimentary cell phone-esque, but it's crazy in Advent Children and in
phone
Dirge.
Obsession is heavy.
And in Crisis Core, you like text and send emails. You get emails.
Wait, when did the iPhone come out? No, but these were fucking flip phones. I remember that shit.
Yeah, they're all flip phones.
I remember cell phone obsession around the BlackBerry and around the iPhone.
Yeah, this one, Vincent's, I think, was a Razor. That's what it kind of looked like to me. One of those old Razors,
yeah.
So he's got it made back then, which is weird for a guy who,
Red 13's like, my phone.
Yeah, no.
How the fuck does Red 13 hold a phone? Someone put in the comments on Twitch that it was on his collar, but once again, like, I know a dog can take his back leg and reach his neck. Would he have to do that every time he had to answer the phone?
Yeah, you just have to sit down and, like, tag it.
And it's like, it's not a very accurate.
Well, and he had a little pouch on. Remember, he was wearing a little pouch. So we know how he's holding it, but it's still weird for him to even use the thing. I would get the guy a Bluetooth headset and say, look, you just need to not lose this. And
he just puts his face down to the ground to hit the button to answer the phone.
Yeah, or like a voice command thing. It just says something out loud, and then the phone is answered. Oh, it's close. And then he gets his Bluetooth headset so he doesn't have to touch anything. Come on, Square. Bluetooth. So Yuffie steals his phone, so she's going even extra klepto on this, which kind of annoying, honestly. Like,
yeah, kleptos are annoying.
Yeah, they are. They're the worst. And And he just takes it too. Like he's this giant tiger wolf beast, and he just accepts the fact that this little girl stole his phone, and he's like, all right, I could tear your throat out, but I'm good.
Can I say something about the voice actor for Red 13?
Yeah.
Probably a better voice for Red 13 than what was in Advent Children.
Yeah.
But does not match Advent Children at all.
No, and it's weird because most of the other voices are really close.
I don't even know if he attempts a British accent. It's not great. Or it's like a really mild one, but like on a scale of 1 to British, the Red 13 accent is they have the stigma. It was really like bad.
Yeah.
We only got one line to be sure. There was only the one line.
Right.
But the voice did not act.
That is
Not that it would be an easy voice to match.
No, because I mean, what does a tiger sound like, or a wolf, or whatever the hell he is, giant wolf?
I feel like that's why you have less talking creatures in the later Final Fantasies once voice acting becomes a thing.
Yeah,
And
they
almost all humanoid, right?
like Moogles communicate through your mind in 14.
Yeah.
They're like apparitions almost. So.
Because they're just like they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
They're like, well, this isn't Star Wars, and we don't know how to do this.
Yeah,
We
which
don't
is
know
good.
how to do this without making it look fucking stupid.
Yeah, so fair enough. So we then find out from Yuri that he
might
was,
end up with a cat with like an Irish accent or some bullshit.
Yeah, that would be the worst, right? Yuri actually was the one who brought the illness to Wutai, and apparently he was going to Midgar to find some materia to help heal people, and they're calling it the Midgar disease or Midgar something, because people from Midgar, obviously, given what Midgar what happened there,
have it, yeah.
yeah. So they first blamed Yuffie because she came from there, but apparently it was Yuri, and they've set out this like hut for the people. They basically are treating them like lepers, and they're just like shoving them all in one tiny little hut. They're forced out of the village. It does. I mean, I brought this up earlier when we were listening to this thing, and we looked at was it Poland during the Black Plague? You watch if you go to Wikipedia and you type in the Black Plague, there's like a little map on the side that autofills of the spread, showing you the spread of the Black Plague over the years, and there's a section in the middle that's just untouched. And it's because of shit like this. It's because of keeping them the fuck out.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? So because you showed me that when we were in the middle of listening to this episode, like, why doesn't Krakow have nothing?
Yeah,
right?
Krakow, yeah.
And I had to do some research on my thing. I was like, why the fuck didn't Poland get the Black Plague? Like, what? And then there was multiple ideas as to why. The first thing being that they had really strict borders at the time because of some really strict great king.
Yeah, I'm sure they built a big wall, right?
And they kept people out of the city for a few days before bringing them in, and things like they had like certain practices like that. There are also a lot of Jewish people, and Jewish people, as opposed to other Europeans, they had a lot of ceremonies having to do with washing their hands.
So they're cleaner.
Kept them cleaner. And then they also, apparently there wasn't a stigma about having cats around, like there was in other parts of Europe that thought cats were evil.
Oh, so they got rid of some of the...
so the cats would possibly kill the rats that were spreading the disease. There's like a whole bunch of theories as to why Poland didn't get it to the extent that other countries.
Well, for this, I'm going to say it's because they kept them out and shoved them in little huts, little disease huts. So apparently the black goo is a water contamination thing, so it's getting into the water supply. And the town, of course, they're just pumping water out of the ground. They're not very sophisticated. You just kind of get the water and go. And here I was kind of reminded of the Diablo quest in Diablo 1, where you like go down and like get rid of the poison in the well. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of fun. This poison seems way worse than the shit in Diablo, though. And the people knew to not drink it in Diablo. These guys? No. Did they know? Of course not. So the disease is spreading, getting worse, and they put a second hut up, and the geostigma. Also, I thought of like the Flint water crisis that we had a little while ago.
I thought of that too.
I thought that was a weird insert there. And apparently, this is a part that I thought was really, really bizarre. Is the geostigma, this disease, enters into the bodies of those who have given up on life. That's a line from this thing.
Which doesn't go with the idea that it's spreadable.
No, not really. And it also doesn't go with Denzel getting it in Advent Children. Was he done living?
Well,
I don't
he was
think
like
so.
an orphan or something, so maybe there was something about despair being like an emotion.
I wonder if it's a
made the disease get
rough
bad.
translation then. If it's not so much...
It might be a rough translation, but that does not mesh well with the idea that people have brought it from somewhere.
No, it doesn't at all.
Because if it's a planet-wide disease that is really just the life stream causing it, when you have despair or whatever, you're somehow tainted, then that would cause it, but that wouldn't make it area-specific.
No, yeah.
At least I don't think it would.
Yeah, and that kind of made me feel like it was sort of an allegory for depression in a way. This whole geostigma thing is how I was feeling about it. And maybe that could be the case for a real world setting, but obviously in this world they are dying from this thing, so it's not a direct crossover.
Right.
But that's sort of how I felt when I heard the line enters into the bodies of those who have given up on life. So the blackness is like this black depression that the people are having. And I don't know, maybe that's kind of what it's more along the lines of, except for it's coming out of their fucking ears and like mouths and stuff, and that's not normal. That's something you need to get checked.
By a doctor like Yuffie.
Yeah, by Dr. Yuffie, if possible. There's a weird line where she was like telling Nanaki that he wasn't cute, which I thought was bizarre. There's a few lines in here where I'm just like, it's like jarringly strange that they would say. And then they meet up with Sid. Sid's got his new airship using gas, so this is like an anti-nuclear, pro-oil sort of a world now. And Sid gives the most awesome line in the world to Yuffie here. He says, "You ain't nothing but weaknesses." That is fucking harsh, man. And he just balls to the wall, just fucking calls her out for sucking. And she takes it. So, because she's level 10.
Is that your favorite part?
Yeah. Where she
Yeah.
just was like, eh.
Where Sid offers a good burn,
Yeah, and then he just fucking leaves. Like,
drops the mic.
last time I ever see her again, fucking out of this joint. And of course, she wants to continue searching for a cure for the geostigma. So that's basically where we end. So it's kind of her figuring out that the geostigma is a thing and kind of chronicling the spread of the disease within Wutai.
Yeah.
So
Some of the things I thought were interesting about this story was that it first of all, it let us see what was going on in Wutai after the end of Final Fantasy VII.
right, yeah,
Which we didn't get a glimpse of at all in Advent Children or any other media so far.
yeah, no,
It also showed us a little bit more about the Wutai culture and that it's kind of very backwards and stuff like that with her father and everything.
yeah, it's strange.
The idea of her being a doctor in whatever the fuck sense of the word that means is bizarre to me.
Yeah, I would think more like healer, but yeah.
Also the disease, and it could be a translation problem. I mean, they translated it themselves from livestream.net, like they were behind the translation itself. So there might be something going on there. I don't know. I would have no idea.
Yeah, or
whether
maybe
or
the
not it
whole
was.
geostigma thing is just above our heads to begin with, which
Maybe. I just thought it was a disease and that people were blaming it on the planet or whatever.
I figured it was like radioactive something. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. If you're listening, which I know you are, Pixel, let us know. I know you will, but I encourage it because that line really throws me off. I mean, I don't know what to think. I did think this was a good addition to the universe, though. I actually liked this one because I like seeing the. This one's a lot more connected from 7 and segues into Advent Children a little better, I think, because we see the sickness, we see it from the beginning, we see the uncertainty, people quarantining others. I mean, Yori's mom ended up passing away during this thing because she was sick with it.
She had the stigma.
Yeah, the stigma, and it's interesting to see what kind of stuff takes place. I mean, people coming into the town for the first time in a while, they get locked up. Like they're taking extreme measures to make sure this thing doesn't spread, and of course it does anyway because there's always that guy who fucking is sick but won't say anything, gets everybody else sick. And that is exactly what happened in this thing. So I thought that was pretty solid, and I think the voice acting overall was really good in this one, which I know they do strive for the best. I mean, the Red 13 is kind of bizarre, but honestly, like you said, I don't know how you can put a voice to Red 13. I would probably, I don't know, maybe make him...
Just have him speak in text boxes.
Yeah, he doesn't speak at all. It just pops up.
Yeah.
It's all text. That would be cool. Yeah. That'd be really bizarre to translate. And
It would.
It'd be impossible to translate into a audio book, audio drama like this. But
maybe he would sound like the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz.
No.
I don't even know. You could just make dog sounds in between his very roughy speech.
Yeah, either that or they just give him Scooby-Doo. Roofy, give me my phone back. Over here.
Oh my God, yes.
All right, I petition a remaster of this with Joe or I doing a Scooby-Doo voiceover for Nanaki.
I can't do Scooby-Doo at all.
Oh, man. Oh, fuck, I don't even know how I would say stigma. Or stigma. Stigma, Raggy. Round. That'd be amazing. Although the village he comes from, I would think maybe more along the lines of a sort of a native voice is what I would, honestly, if I were to legitimately look at where they come from. Kind of seems that way.
I think it was based on China in the actual game.
Really? That's what Wutai was based on. But
Yuffie's father, he was giving him sort of a light touch Chinese accent.
Yeah, Wutai is, but I'm talking Cosmo Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of feels that way. I mean, they do have the telescope and shit.
Dwayne.
So I don't know. It's kind of tough. Yeah. Dwayne, is this... No. So I enjoyed this one, though. I thought it was pretty good. You guys did a great job on the voice acting. The intro guy is really throwing me off, though. He's just like this... The live stream presents... Episode... It's like this deep
that's pretty
voice.
much right.
It's
people listening
crazy.
at home. That's.
I'm like, God, and it just started like randomly in the third
It's
or
also
fourth
like
one.
the audio is really crushed, so it sounds like really it's got a lot of sounds in it.
It's nuts. But great job on this, though. I love having more content. We've got a few more of these to
Still
do.
waiting for that FF2 novel.
Yeah, we're looking at you guys. It's out there, and we can't do it because we don't know Japanese. But you guys, you guys do. So hit that up, live stream. Looking forward to it.
Karimasen.
Yeah. All right, man. You got any more thoughts, or do you want to move on to some questions?
I have no more thoughts. No more thoughts are in my brain. I would kind of rank this. I rank it above Barrett. I would actually probably rank this the highest.
Yeah.
Out of the ones we've heard so far. Mostly because there was actually something going on in this one. Like, the other ones were kind of flashbacks to things going on.
Yeah, or people just dealing with
feeling
stuff.
like, I'm depressed and the world's depressed.
And that's kind of depressing to listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we were able to experience it, but I don't know. I do like this one because it has an application to a film that we,
To a film?
To a film that we didn't dig as much as others, but it's still good to have that connection because Advent Children throws a lot of shit at you that's like stuff you didn't really know about or expect or whatever, and it's cool to have these to sort of ease our way into it And perhaps we need to do a commentary or a review of Advent Children Bare Bones. After
Regular
we do these.
Advent Children?
Yeah. To save face for all those
Drunk
who...
or sober?
I mean, I'm going to be drunk, but you could be sober.
I'll be sober because I'm not getting drunk ever again.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
You haven't drank since then, have you?
I will get buzzed, but I will not get drunk.
Well, if we do a drinking game, we're going to get fucking drunk. So
not doing a drinking game. That was a problem.
We probably shouldn't do that.
No. Yeah. That was terrible. Okay. Well, do we have any questions?
We do. We have a couple here.
Let's answer them.
Questions for us. We would like to you to forums or contact us on Twitter. Get up and ask your questions. We'll answer them in a week. This is the question segment. Ask and you will receive.
Yeah, I think we should start it off with some Skype question here. I'm not sure why we have two files here, but we do. We'll find out shortly. Let's see what we got.
Hi, this is formerly Cloud of the Forums, and I thought there's a great question for you guys to analyze.
His name is formerly Cloud.
I think you guys need to do a show in which you rank the villains of the series.
Oh.
The show has had a very amusing ranking contest for the best FF game, or as a sort of competition between hottest FF girl and hottest FF guy. I think you guys can expand on this and have an even more fun ranking for the villains, either doing it as a sort of best of list, like you do the rankings of the games, or in terms of having a contest.
Best of every
There are a lot
villain.
of ways you could do a villain.
13's going to add like 6.
Is it a function of the best villain motivation, i.e., whose goals are relatable and understandable? Is it a function of sheer power? Or is the best villain the one with the greatest villainy, meaning the most evilness in their actions? You may need to define who's the villain in each FF game. Sometimes it can be a bit ambiguous. For example, Crisis Core seems to imply that Genesis is equally a villain, but also a victim of Shinra. So is he a villain in the same sense that he is just a monster who is merely what he was created to be? Or is he morally accountable for his actions, and he is indeed the villain as much as Sephiroth or Kuja? Is Dr. Frankenstein's creature really evil or nothing more than what he was designed to be and morally absolved? In this case, is Genesis simply the antagonist, but Shinra is the villain? Perhaps a separate way to answer the question might be which game has the best total villain, and to then rank the games themselves, because many games have complicated webs of villains. For example, Final Fantasy VII has Sephiroth, to be sure, but Shinra is also a pretty major villain. Final Fantasy X is actually even more complicated in that the, quote, bad guy is a melange of Sin, Yu Yevon itself, the Church of Yu Yevon, and, of course, the not-so-imposing deer antler man, Seymour. Hope you guys have fun with this.
Damn, I think we need to do that as an episode.
Yeah. We didn't pre-screen this call.
No, that one I didn't listen to.
That's excellent.
This next one I did.
Okay, I think we should definitely make that an episode.
Yeah, great idea, Cloud, and I feel like this is one that we can go off on for a while. And, dude, a total list of all the villains? Fuck yeah. I'm going to pull that up.
I would do only main series, but...
No, main series is fine. Main series is fine.
Because we're not quite through the sequels.
All right, so we have another one here from Cloud, and this one's an actual question we're going to ask this week.
Ask this week?
Answer. He's going to ask.
I apologize that this has been covered in depth on the FF7 episode.
Probably
I'm
hasn't.
Holding out to listen to this.
We had Craig,
as a
so
treat for myself.
Nothing was covered in
for
depth.
the next very long trip to Europe. So if it has been covered, just disregard this message. If not, feel free to edit this out.
Later.
This is Cloud, formerly of the forums. I have a question for you. A common divisive fan question in FF7 is Ares versus Tifa. Do you feel there is a right choice for the gold saucer date in terms of the story?
Barrett.
Do you feel there is a right answer about for whom he has romantic feelings, if not both? I'm also curious to know if you think the answer changed at different points in time when you were playing through the game. For example, did your opinion change before versus after Aerith's death? I.e., did the death scene change your sense of for whom he had feelings? What did you think after learning that Cloud was lying to himself about his past? I.e., does the psychological damage from Hojo's tests and Mako poisoning resulting in the inheritance of Zack's memories mitigate the genuineness of his feelings for Aerith, such that they're not legit feelings for her? What did you think after Advent Children? Did the events of Crisis Core change your answer? For the record, I just want to say that I think Caleb is 100% spot on regarding his interpretation of the final scenes of FF7, portraying Cloud's realization of, hey, it's time to move on. I know who I am now. I know Tifa is my life. I'm leaving the past behind.
Oh, yeah.
And that Advent Children is crap for making Cloud an emo pansy. As a nota bene, did you know that there are some significant changes to the dialogue for the final scene between Tifa and Cloud beneath the Highwind on Disc 2 before they enter the final dungeon? There are differences in the dialogue as a function of whether or not Tifa was chosen for the date at the Gold Saucer. You can YouTube this if you like, if you haven't seen both versions. They imply different physical interactions between the pair on the last night together alone, depending upon whether or not Tifa went out with Cloud. Hope you have fun analyzing this.
I didn't know about that last part.
Yeah, I
didn't know that at all.
I don't think I've had Tifa on the date.
You didn't have Tifa on the date.
I had Aerith.
I think I had Eris as well. Probably because I knew how the middle of FF7 was going to be. What with a spoiler alert, Aerith death. And so I'd always pick her.
Well, I would pick the damage over the healer most of the time anyway. I mean, you can have Kier equipped with an all. So why use Aerith, who can't do shit as far as damage goes? That was my playstyle as far as 7 goes. Okay, so
I think we should look at the dialogue differences.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, pause the show then.
Let's do that. I didn't know about this. Fuck. Geostigma. No, actually, we got an excellent question from Cloud. FF7. Tifa. Under the Highwind, both versions.
Here we go. Oh, this is a 12-minute
Jesus
video.
Fucking Christ.
All right, so the video has both versions of the Highwind scene between Cloud and Tifa. The first one is the high affection. Tifa has 50 or more points. The low one is the...
So this is apparently if you did the date.
Everyone's gone. Wait, are we recording this?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have anywhere to go.
You want to
You're
pop
right.
it up for the...
No.
This is a Twitch exclusive.
Very exclusive, since it's not even on the fucking screen. There we
There we
go.
go. I'll be Cloud, you be Tifa.
Okay. But that's all right, even if no one comes back. As long as I'm with you, as long as you're by my side, I won't give up, even if I'm scared.
Tifa. Tifa.
No matter how close we are, we were far apart before this, but when we were in the live stream surrounded by all those screams and anguish, fuck you!
Why is it so fucking fast? Do you have the speed up?
No!
You didn't have the speed up for the...
No. I thought I heard your voice. Lucky bastard, you get the guy who doesn't talk. Sniff, you probably don't remember this, but deep in my heart, I heard you calling my name, or at least I thought I did.
Yeah, at the time I heard you calling me. You were calling me back from the stream of consciousness in the live stream. After all, I promise that if anything were to happen to you, I would come to help. Think.
Cloud, do you think the stars can hear us? No, that's bullshit. Do you think they see how hard we're fighting for them?
I don't know, but whether they are or not, we still have to do what we can and believe in ourselves. Someday we will find the answer, right, Tifa? That's what I learned from you when I was in the live stream.
Yeah, that's right. That's very manly, Tifa there. She looks like a vampire in the scene. I
Hey,
always
Tifa,
think that.
There were a lot of things I wanted to talk about with you. But now that we were together like this, I don't know what I really want to say. I guess nothing's changed at all. It kind of makes you want to laugh. What?
No. Cloud, words aren't the only thing that tell people what you're thinking. Give it to me. Stick it to me, big boy.
Right here, right now.
That is definitely what that shit implies. Oh, look at her. Look at that grin. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So there's more than just two versions, I think. Unless this is like really long.
No, Troy. We're just talking really fast.
It's almost on.
Oh, sorry.
What the fuck?
Huh?
Sorry, did I wake you? It's almost on, Tifa.
Good morning, Cloud.
Post-cloidal.
Give me a little longer. Just a little bit longer.
More cuddle time.
This day will never come again.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably... Oh, that's probably...
Oh, last time we held together. Because we're totally gonna fucking die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wait, did you see that guy we're gonna fight?
Someone said he had an attack that like goes through a bunch of planets.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick. I don't know how we're gonna live through that shit. Yeah, you think, Renatol? A little too quick? Yeah, way too quick. We better go.
But I still...
It's alright, Tifa. You said so yourself yesterday. At least we don't have to go on alone.
Yes, that's right.
It's what we call a pillow talk, baby. Okay, let's go. Alright. So that's one. Alright, what's the version if you didn't go with her?
The airship is too big for just the two of us. Yeah, it's a little lonely without everyone.
And then everybody comes back. I think the changes are going to be in those first two scenes.
Yeah?
Yeah. At least the major ones.
Everyone's gone. Let's do the second one. Low affection. Probably the one I always get. Actually, definitely. Everyone's gone.
Yeah, we don't have to go anywhere, anyone to go home to. We're fucked. We're out here alone.
Wow, this guy is much more decent. You're right. But I'm sure someday they'll come back, don't you think?
I wonder. Everyone has an irreplaceable something they're holding on to. But this time our opponent...
But that's all right, even if no one comes back. As long as I'm with you, as long as you're by my side, I won't give up, even if I'm scared.
Hold my hand, Gil. Tifa. Tifa.
No matter how close we are, we were far apart before this. But when we were in the live stream, surrounded by all those screams of anguish, I thought I heard your voice. You probably don't remember this, but deep in my heart, I heard you calling my name, or at least I thought I did.
Dilly dally, shilly shally.
This is the version I always get.
Yeah, it is for me too.
Yeah, I see. I think I've heard about it too. At that time, it was Tifa's voice. Voice.
Cloud, do you think the stars can hear us?
No.
Do you think they see how hard we're fighting for them?
No, pretty sure we just look like a dot. I don't know, but whether they are or not, we still have to do what we can and believe in ourselves. I'll find the answer someday, as long as I keep trying.
Yeah, that's right.
We've got a big battle tomorrow. We better get some sleep.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. One suit, a onesie. How? And then this, of course, is the part where they... I guess we can voice act this part, too.
It's almost dawn.
Huh?
Morning, Tifa. It's almost dawn. I fucking said it's almost dawn.
Good morning,
Okay,
Cloud.
All right. Sorry. Just a little nervous.
Give me a little longer, just a little bit longer. This day will never come again, so let me have this moment. And then
Yeah, that's okay.
we don't need to see the rest.
No.
That's where he basically goes up, and they're like, "Wait, you were watching us?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Sex scene? Oh yeah." The cutaway, the fucking aftermath, where they're talking about how nervous they were that people saw him out there, just fucking going all night. Definitely. All right, you ready to talk about it?
Yeah. You go.
Okay, so now that we've viewed both versions, the second version for the like
Twitch exclusive.
50th time, yes, Twitch exclusive viewing, I definitely feel like the first one is the canon. I think that's the one that you're supposed to get. There are games that have alternate
What do you mean by
endings.
the first one? For those who are listening, to
the
show.
the version of oh shit, my foot's asleep. The version of the end area where you took Tifa on the date earlier in the game, so your affection rating with Tifa is higher.
You think that one's the more correct one?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you say that?
It seems they seem more connected in that one, and I think that's what the game is trying to show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, obviously it doesn't matter which one to the game makers. Obviously, to them who made the game, it was either or. You chose who to take the date with. Now, I always choose Aerith, so the version that's more familiar to me, is the second version, which seemed like they were more apart, and then they sort of come together in a few different ways. They sort of come together on the mountain below the airship. Finally, they finally connect
release
to each other, and I think that's actually more consistent with the game before then, because unless of course you took her on the date, because then there was a whole new scene that added different character development upon Cloud's sort of friendship / I think there's definitely a strong love interest there with Tifa. As opposed to a strong one with Aerith. Because, look, you're looking at almost two different love triangle stories that way. And they're slightly different, but they feel vastly different. One being that Cloud has had this childhood friend of Tifa for a while. And then he meets this girl named Aerith that he's completely fallen for. Even though he's he's a character that speaks from the inside, he's very you don't get to see a lot of his feelings or whatever
Yeah.
towards them or
I can
anything
relate
like
to that. Yeah.
So he obviously, based upon how he reacts at the end of the game and how he reacts when he almost kills her and stuff like that, and in the middle, and his guilt and Advent Children, whether or not you want to count that, Cloud, I feel like that's one story, is that he's strongly with Eris. When Eris dies, then he's like, oh, I should have... There's a hint there at the very least where it's like, well, I should have been with Tifa all along, and Tifa's the right person for me now.
Yeah.
If anything.
Well,
As opposed to it really being a thing with him and Tifa, and then Eris is sort of a distraction from that. And then when she dies, of course, he goes back to Tifa.
well, I would say that is a legitimate option in my mind, just because the only reason why he's into Aerith is because of Zack, I would say. I mean, he does fall through the roof, just like Zack, and lands in her flower bed, just like Zack. And that's kind of where he starts falling for her, but I feel like his feelings for her are leftover of his trauma from the experiences with his friend Zack and the Mako experiments that were being done on him. Seeing him die, and the end of Crisis Core, where he says, live for both of us, which is kind of bizarre, but like that fucked him up, and I think that's why he likes Aerith. I don't think he actually truly loves Aerith in this game. I don't. I think he likes her a lot, but he does because he's still being Zack. I don't think it's because he's being him. And I think eventually that part of him dies along with her, and at the very end of the game is
it's
when
Tifa
he
who gets him out of it.
truly realizes it. Yeah, because he looks up and he sees Aerith, but then it's Tifa, and that's when he realizes, oh, well, Tifa is the one for me. It's always been Tifa. Aerith was just this side thing that was a result of my fucked up mind with the Mako and seeing my best friend get fucking blasted right next to me. And of course, his cryptic, fucked up last words live on for both of us. That just scarred my poor mind into submission and into thinking that I'm some soldier first class at level 1. No. No. So I honestly I do feel like the love story between him and Aerith, it doesn't really work for me. It doesn't make sense, and I think a lot of it is because of the fact that he's doing it through Zack. He's being Zack Cloud at that moment. And at the end of the game, he's letting all that go, and he's being just him. He's realizing that Tifa is the go-to, because Tifa's way more awesome.
I only slightly disagree with you, because basically they're the same story. It's just like these kind of...
These two scenes are very similar.
Yeah. And
there's barely any difference between them.
And whether or not you go on the date with Tifa or Eris, or whether or not you go with Barrett, which is hilarious.
You know what the funny part is, though? The one with Tifa seems more like the one that should be right, but technically the Aerith one would be more canon because of Advent Children. Because of what Advent Children does to the ending of 7. It just, forgets about it, Like the meteor stuff, obviously the live stream coming down and stopping, or reaching up into the sky and stopping meteor, that obviously happens. But the thing with Tifa, that's completely disregarded.
Well, and then he's still getting over the Eris.
Yeah, and it's like...
And that would only work if Eris was the bigger plot point.
I don't consider Advent Children to be a proper continuation anyway, so...
Okay,
I don't care what that thing says. But technically, yeah, it would be.
Yeah, and obviously they're both right in their own way. But I think that, I don't know, it's just really, which one do you like more?
Yeah.
Which version of the story do you like more? Both versions of those stories are sad. They're complex. And there's a lot of sort of feelings there, and you don't really get inside of them because you never really get inside of Cloud except in that one section, of course, where you're actually inside of his mind.
Yeah.
So... I mean, obviously you prefer one. I actually think I prefer the other. I think I prefer even if he is acting as Zack, it doesn't mean that his feelings are not real. They're still real, but they're based in things that may be not real. And maybe he himself, when he's mourning over Eris, is also mourning over the death inside of him that was Zack. So I think it's
perhaps.
really complicated, and I don't know which one to answer Cloud's question. In my opinion, I don't know which one's right. I think I prefer the Eris one. That's all.
Right.
The one where you go on the date with Eris. And then Tifa becomes the person that Cloud realizes that he needs, even though in Advent Children totally goes, oh, well, Cloud's just going to go away anyway.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
God damn it. Yeah, great question, though.
That is a great question.
It's always a fun one to explore.
Yeah. That's a complex question, too.
It is, and I like what you did with the, it's not necessarily not real, the feelings he's having, because it could just be him connecting Aerith with Zack, because that was the last thing that they shared in a disgusting, in all senses of the word, was her, and now he's dead and she's dead too. Maybe it's just bringing it all back to him, all back for him. All right, so we have a couple other questions on a lighter note here. Favorite means of travel in Final Fantasy 15.
Should
It's
we
kind of a
save
bizarre.
that till the 15 review?
You know what? We might as well. Fuck it.
Because I'm halfway through the game. I might change my mind.
All right. So a real question we're going to answer. The other one was fake. Is which should my wife play first, 4 or 6? This one is from Nox Knight 88. So I'm trying to get my wife into the FF series. She's played plenty of games in the past, but most of them have been platformers, Mario, Donkey Kong, or action adventure games like Zelda. With that said, I have FF4 and 6 on the Super Nintendo. Obviously, they are 2 and 3 on the NES, but we all know what they really are. Which would you recommend we play first? Obviously, most people would say that 6 is the better game, but is that the best one to introduce someone to the series? I would say...
I want to say I beat 6 one, I think it was my 3rd one that I beat.
Yeah.
Honestly, I remember things a lot better back before we did this playthrough, so if I said something different on an earlier episode, listen to that one. I think the first one that I beat was 10. Of course, I'd been playing 8 before that.
Yeah.
But I never beat it because of various reasons. And then I beat 4 the same week. And then I think 6 was later on, it was a month or two after.
Okay.
So in my experience, if you were to take 10 out of there, I think 4 is just a good, solid, old school RPG game with a generally pretty good kind of story to sink your teeth into. And I think most people, not everyone, but I think most people agree that 6 is a better story than 4.
Yeah.
And also probably better in game aspects as well. And so I would save the best for last. If she's going to play both,
Yeah.
and it's going to be those two first, I would say play 4 first and then play 6. Because if she likes 4, she's going to really like 6. If she likes 6, then she may or may not like 4
Yeah, 4 is
in comparison.
It's a different beast.
As much,
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. So I guess I would say if she's only going to play one of them, play 6. But if she's willing to play both, then definitely start with 4 and then move on to 6. 6, I obviously believe, is the superior game, and everyone should play 6. It's amazing. And 4 is pretty good as well, but I feel like going from
Some
6 to 4...
people love 4. There's
Some
going to be
people
some
do,
of our
yeah.
listeners that think 4 is the best game in the series.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So
It's fine if you like meaningless death revivals and whatnot, but it's a blast of a game. 4 is still a
great game.
fucking great game. When we got to 4, it was the best thing so far by a lot, by a fucking mountain of better.
yeah.
Right. So I guess it would depend on that. So great question though. Let's see what the listener says. Shinru said start with 4. It's easier, especially on the Super NES. And when you get around to 6, you will appreciate it more when you see what improvements were made.
Mm-hmm.
Matunica says going too old might not work. If your wife has played more modern games, then you should start with a more recent entry like FF10. If it's old school Mario she has played before, then jump in with 6, as it is one of the best and will hook anyone into the series. Otherwise, I would pick 7, as it is where I started.
On our stream on Twitch, Pixel Edge says 6, and Critital also says 6, but he says he might be behind, at least how I'm reading this.
He's behind our...
Behind going with, if you're going to play both, then 4 first and then 6.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, and then, yeah, okay. I think that's what he's saying. So yeah, that I agree with Caleb.
Oh, this one's kind of funny. This one's titled Christmas.
Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas, guys. Should
Yeah.
we put this out on Sunday instead of Monday?
Give him a Christmas gift.
Yeah, why not?
Is anybody even going to fucking listen to it?
No, because every time there's a holiday or downloads sync.
Yeah, that's true.
But some people listen. Bizarrely, there's usually a couple hundred people that are like, hey, yeah, I'll listen to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people, I think it auto downloads, doesn't it, if you're subscribed?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So.
But you have to open up your app in order for it to auto download like that.
Oh,
Usually, from what I remember.
Oh, okay.
It's both that way with Podcast Addict, which needs to refresh in order to download stuff. And then it was that way when I had an iPod Touch and I would go into the podcast app. That's how it was. You would have to go into the podcast app and then it would search for new podcasts and start downloading them.
All right.
But it might be different now, but that's how it was.
Cool. So Corey asks, so he says, was just wondering what everyone was hoping to do for their holiday. I made the mistake of telling my wife that I wanted FF15 for Christmas. So when I mentioned getting it on release, she told me not to. Now I have to wait until Christmas Day to play it. I plan on spending a large portion
Poor
of Christmas
man.
Day playing my new game. This has been a long 2 weeks. So there's a lot of love
boy.
and sympathy coming from the forum members. That does suck.
But by the time this episode comes out, it'll be 15 time for old Corey, right?
Yeah, it'll be
Get in there.
like it never happened because it'll have happened before.
There you go.
Yeah, that does suck, man. That's the double-edged sword of getting it as a gift. You gotta wait. But you'll get it, man. You'll live. Just play that World of Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
That'll sate your need.
Sorry, was there a question in there? Because I only heard his story.
It was basically a story.
Okay, all right.
It was in the questions, but
What are the responses here?
we got one from Felicia Nomiko. We plan to open presents while watching the Deadpool commentary track. Then it's off to see my parents. I'm getting Skyrim Special Edition for Christmas. Accidentally opened that box yesterday. But I don't plan to play it until after the new year. If anything is getting played, it's more 15. The Trooper 4 says, oh man, that sucks. You have a good time coming to you, and you're almost there, man. I'll be doing the typical stuff, family, travel. Also working on Christmas Eve, which sucks. But what are you going to do? I'll be trying to get some FF15 time, and between all that, we'll probably have to wait until after New Year's to finally finish the story. Sounds like an awesome Christmas morning, Felicia.
Well, how are you going to spend Christmas twice? Christmas Eve, I believe there's a Nude Clan episode being recorded, which is insane to me. And I'm
You gonna-
probably not going to be there for it.
We gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah. That's my family, because, okay, this is how my situation is with my family. So I got the parents that are old now. I mean, kind of. They're in their 50s, right? Mid-50s. And so they're new grandparents. For the last 10 years, they've been grandparents. It's my sister got a child, and now there's like 5 grandkids.
Yeah.
And so what my sisters do, they have their own family, like, celebrations on Christmas Day. And how it's worked out is that the other families as well, like their father-in-laws or mother and father-in-laws, like that, their side of the family from my brother-in-laws, their stuff is always on Christmas Day. So my parents have always had Christmas Eve down, and like that's because I don't have a family of my own. It's like I just go for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and the rest is
And
just
then
yours.
Christmas Day is just a day. So I celebrate. I've always been celebrating on Christmas Eve, at least for the last like decade. So
Yeah. With recent family changes, I don't know what I'm really going to be doing. Like,
yeah, and I'm gonna be on Christmas Eve. I'll be there till I have to go to work because I'm working from 10 to 2 or from 10 to 6 a.m. Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. And then Christmas Day, I have another 4-hour shift, time and a half, by the way. Every hour that's on Christmas Day, I got another 4-hour shift from 6 to 10. So I'll be working Christmas Day as well. But that's because I celebrate on Christmas Eve.
yeah, I have to work, so I've started this overnight thing too, oddly, right when Joe started his. I'm just kind of helping out at my job, and I'm going to be working Monday at midnight. So Christmas Day is going to be a fucking joke for me. Like,
Does the podcast listeners know I got a job? I got a job.
yeah, I think you
Finally
might
got a
have mentioned
job.
it. But so I don't know what I'll do. Like, I'm planning on spending time with my family and my girlfriend's family. Nothing crazy though. No Deadpool commentary track awesomeness. But I don't know. It's exciting. I got some stuff in the chat here asking us if we're going to go to Distant Worlds concert in Salt Lake. Did you see me
The
post that?
fucking newly announced one. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! God damn it!
I think we should.
Both two.
Yeah. That one's in like the middle of the year. That's what I
It's in
remember.
July. Yeah.
So, I fuck it, man. Let's do it.
It sounds good to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe some of you guys can meet up
We'll
with
do
us
2 Distant Worlds concerts.
in 1 year. Hell yeah.
All of our Western listeners. So
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Utah, Arizona, Idaho. This is
well.
going to be the closest, except for maybe California.
Yeah, if you're really digging it, maybe we'll do some sort of event. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
If you guys are
see if
down-
Wise Guys Comedy
If
Club
you guys are
will let us do anything.
DTH down to hang, maybe we can do a live episode or something.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun. Get live questions. Have them really put us on the spot. Not that we read the questions before we get on the show anyway, so I guess we're already on the spot, but even more so
That's
live,
true.
in person.
There was once a time, and I think we talked about this recently. There was once a time that we used to edit our episodes, and if there was a section we didn't like, we wouldn't keep it in. But
Yeah.
now that we're always live streaming on Twitch, it's like if we put our foot in our mouth, we just put our foot in our mouth, and you know what, we got to deal with it.
Yeah, we do. And
What are we gonna do?
speaking of that, I do believe we have a little bit of a correction this week.
Shure SM58 microphones, $200. Adobe Audition software for mixing episodes, $30 a month. Libsyn hosting fees, $20 a month. A weekly FF podcast with great listeners, priceless. There are some things money can buy. For every other nitpicking motherfucker on the planet, there's the correction segment.
I already nominated this one, by the way.
Yeah, so during the episode Barrett, I jokingly / thought I heard them talk about Barrett exchanging his wooden hand for a metal hand, and I guess that never happened. So maybe it was just something that I made up in my own mind and was really laughing about.
Well, it was the mark for a good comedy. So you say that the nice hand that the guy made was wooden, and I just went along with it because I heard the story too, right? But I didn't take notes, and I just assumed that I didn't know and that you had just paid better attention to the story than I did.
Yeah.
So I didn't correct you. I went right along with it, and you made some jokes about Geppetto and like fucking holding up one hand with the other hand and making it a puppet hand thing, which may be the funniest fucking thing that you've ever said on the show. So I think that it was good that we said the wrong thing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it totally wasn't a wooden hand.
Yeah, totally. Sorry, man.
So your comedy is steeped in lies. But,
Yeah. Look, man, it's
was-
bending the truth.
literally one of the funniest jokes you've ever said on the show.
There was a hand.
There was a hand.
That's about as far as I can get. So thank you, Pixel Edged, for submitting that one on a
I
YouTube
think that
comment.
was
Actually,
Pixel is the live
damn
stream
it, you're
guy.
right. Fuck, I always
Pixel
do
is the
this.
live stream guy, and Pixel Edged is the other YouTube guy
Yeah, the dude
who
who
always challenges me on shit, and I never go through with it.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, he's always fighting for my
Civ 6 will happen someday.
fighting you for my love. Although there's not really a battle there, so
Okay.
he doesn't know that though. I guess he knows it now, but fuck it. So, guys, with the end of the year coming up, we have a little something called the 2016 UFF Podcast Awards.
Play the
Is
fucking
that,
jingle. Play the fucking jingle.
What, questions from us to you?
Yeah, dude, we haven't played the
Is it
jingle.
really a question, though?
It's multiple questions.
All right, fine. Extra questions from us.
Okay. All right, guys. So the 2016 UFF Podcast Awards, which will be awarded sometime in early January.
Right.
We need nominations for. So not only are we going to do a sort of FF Best Picture thingy, which we'll, of course, put on this gigantic poll that everybody will have to do. But on top of that, we got to do our regular yearly award show for the show itself.
Right.
So the categories are, Schweiss, if you could scroll up so that we can get the actual list of the full list of categories. Here are the categories, and we just need your ideas for what you think should be nominations. And there's a thread in the forums for it, or you can reply on the Facebook page, or you can reply on Twitter, whatever you want. Doesn't matter, but we do need some opinions here. And sometimes people are like scared to put their opinions down on these things. And so like sometimes we like don't get a lot of responses like we didn't last year, and it was like, what the fuck?
You know what? Just go for it. The
Just do
worst episode of the greatest podcast in the world is still a good episode. Just remember that when you're putting that worst episode. It's like the worst season of Game of Thrones. Still better than anything Walking Dead's ever put out. But definitely the worst season of Game of Thrones.
Okay, all right, here it is. Our categories are best episode. So what? And two-parters are one episode.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Worst episode. What episode of UFF through 2016 you thought was the worst? Best guest. This is a new category because we had a lot of guests this year. We should have done this as a category last year. I don't know why we didn't. But we had a lot of guests on this year, including the Limit Break hosts and like 4 Patreon listeners and a few other people. So best guest. Who you thought was the best guest? Best rant. Yeah, what rant throughout this year was sparkling and beautiful. Best impersonation is always my favorite category to see. Like, we had a lot of Bernie Sanders impersonations this year. I think it was on this show as well, but on Nude Clan there was a lot.
Yeah.
We also had a good Dave Mustaine impersonation as per usual. We both always bring those up. And then we just had an episode last week, Schweiss, where me and you were doing the characters from FF15. So
yeah.
There's some areas for nominations there. Whatever you guys thought was the best impersonation from either one of us, please put that down. Best new jingle or song, I think we only had 2 new things this year. It was no iTunes review and the correction segment.
Yeah.
I think we're the only ones. And so we'll probably just nominate those straight up. Worst blunder. This is a new category, Schweiss.
Nice. So the biggest, this is like the raspberry.
This
award.
is the stupidest thing that we've said when it comes to like Final Fantasy lore or something.
All right.
I have already nominated you calling Barrett's hand a wooden hand, and then I've nominated myself for thinking that the N64 outsold the PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
But there's other blunders that we've had for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we of course have our kind of community award, best non-UFF Final Fantasy podcast. We're only gonna nominate the shows that you guys put up in this thread, or Facebook or Twitter. So make sure you guys nominate the shows that you believe deserve some recognition outside of our own greatest Final Fantasy podcast.
Right, yeah.
And then lastly, if you have anybody who you believe deserves the Audience Maximus Awards, we already know a couple that we're going to give it to.
Oh, yeah.
But if you think that someone deserves it, let us know.
Yeah, and we'll be... That thread's just, you guys just blow it up, man. Put everything you want on there, and we'll come up with the more common ones, throw up some polls, do the same thing we do every year, and let you guys decide on the best of each category. And again, we're going to be combining the best picture thing with Final Fantasy games
and also
and characters.
There's like every Final Fantasy game that was released in 2016.
Yeah.
You'll get to vote on best Final Fantasy release.
Yeah, I'm sure I know which one's going to win that, but...
Yeah, I thought I was sure both years. Like, last year was kind of a crappy year. There wasn't that many things. I think Theater Rhythm won. No, it wasn't Theater Rhythm. I think it was the 2015 awards or the 2014 awards where it was like Lightning Returns came out, and I thought that was going to win.
Yeah.
Because it was the biggest release. But then Theater Rhythm like beat its ass
Yeah.
in our awards show. So
I don't know.
What are you
man.
gonna do?
Yeah. It's gonna have to accept it.
But you never know. Anyway, so if you guys could please, you don't have to answer for every category if you don't feel comfortable with it. We're especially looking for best rant because we know rants have happened.
Yeah.
But remembering like what episode they were on or what the rant was is kind of hard for us. So if you remember some kind of big rant or really crazy impersonation that we did, let us know. We need to gather this information for the next week or so that we can get the nominations up and then start voting from there.
Yeah.
And then we'll have our big episode out in January.
Yep, the awards.
Yeah, so
super stoked for it.
That's our question from us to you is, could you please give us some nominations? But other than that, Schweiss, oh man, did we have any iTunes reviews this week?
Nope.
No iTunes reviews?
No.
Oh, Schweiss.
Should we punish him for it?
Schweiss, I'm sorry, it's the rules.
Yeah, I mean, it's so brutal though, but
It is. I mean, there it is.
it's been weeks, guys, weeks. Come on. Why are you showing my dirty ass kitchen? Come on, that's it. Yeah. Look, man, it's all Cameron.
What is this on the screen before me? No new reviews from you to me. Look at other shows. No new episodes. No iTunes reviews. No love for the show. Oh no, iTunes reviews. You did this to us. And yourself.
Get those reviews in.
What have you told them?
I didn't tell him anything.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, what happened is on this Twitch stream, Joe moved the camera and showed my not so clean looking kitchen due to Cameron exclusively. All of that shit right
Hey,
there.
what did I fucking tell you about Cameron before he moved in?
Dude.
He's going to talk about how he's so clean and shit,
You know what happened?
and then he's going to be the messiest fucking roommate you've
You know
ever
what
had.
happened today? He came home, woke me up, by the way. I'm trying to sleep during
Okay.
the days. He woke me up,
Okay.
and he was cooking bacon and eggs, and he just left. And then I come back into the kitchen, and there's a block of cheese just sitting on the counter. There's bacon sitting on the counter, and there was something else that was gonna go bad sitting on the counter. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And there's all this shit everywhere, and I'm like, fuck, dude, what are you doing? Like, you didn't even put your food away. If I wouldn't have come down here,
Oh,
all
he
of this
does
would have
that
been
all the fucking time.
all of this would have been trash, and like the cheese might be trash. Like it was kind of hard. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What's?
Was it like left overnight or something?
No, it was left like from 1 o'clock to like 6 ish. It was just
Shouldn't be hard
chilling.
by then.
I don't know. It shouldn't be fucking left out either. Neither should the bacon. The goddamn bacon. Anyway, this is completely off topic.
I don't give a shit.
Final
It's the end
Fantasy.
of the show right now.
It is, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if they're even still here, I guess they can get a nice little extra.
An extra glimpse into the lives of
Yeah.
of the hosts.
Yeah. So awesome, guys. Make sure you get those nominations up and tweet me at UFF Podcast.
You can tweet me at Joseph DeGolier, bitches.
You can go to youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. See all of our past streams, episodes, commentaries, some of them, unfortunately. You can go to twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy. See us stream stuff live, including the games, as soon as I get back on.
Did you say facebook.com/Ultima Final Fantasy?
I did not.
What about if you want to support the show in any way? You could go to ultimafinalfantasy.com. There's a Patreon link there.
There is.
You can support us per month via the Patreon link. Remember, we have not yet missed an episode.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah, it is.
Insane. We have not yet missed an episode. You could also go to ultimafinalfantasy.com and click through the Amazon link or the PayPal link and support the show that way. And then everything else can be found at ultimafinalfantasy.com, including our beautiful forums where we asked our question from us to you and it needs to be answered.
Yes. Also, check out our phone line. We love it when people call in and give us questions that way. It is a very enjoyable experience, and it's cool to hear you guys' voices. And that number is 385-204-3921. That's 385-204-3921.
Anthony Walker says, I nominate Caleb Craig for best beard. And then put in little, what do you call those? Little brackets, sarcasm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably does have the worst beard.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
who does best beard go to?
Oh, that's an easy choice. If it's between us three.
I mean, between me, you, and Craig. Because this is UFF. You. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Are you saying I was fishing for a compliment?
Yeah, I would say that, yes.
Okay. Yeah, if it's Nude Clan, I think Cameron gets it.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well.
But, you can check out Nude Clan and Godzilla Podcast. There is a new episode of Godzilla Podcast, by the way. Out.
Yep, and please check out the Nude Clan podcast. It's incredible. And we have a lot of RPG episodes that I know you guys aren't fucking listening to, because I can see. So check those out, too. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck? What's going on in the chat right now?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're getting out of here.
All right. See you guys next week.
Until then.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever the fuck you...
Enjoy the Christmas grind.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy podcast.
Christmas grind.
The show was produced by Joseph DeGolier and Cameron Schweiss with
The
music
family,
and editing
Jesus.
by Joseph DeGolier. Parodies and clips
Christmas
from their
grind.
respective authors, of course. You can get all of our episodes as well as our Let's Plays at ultimafinalfantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter at UFF Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.
What the fuck is going on in the chat? Something about Pixel Edged? Was he booted?
I don't know.
Don't boot Pixel Edged. We know Pixel Edged. He's good.
What did you guys do? What the fuck is this?
No, UFF episode. This is the Christmas UFF episode.
Yeah.
This will come out probably on Sunday. We'll probably just give it an early release.
I know you did it, Krenatol.
Apparently he was not able to talk. Okay. It's weird.
How did you find that out?
Well, because I saw him going little tag going permit Pixel Edged, and I was like, what the fuck?
Well, what happened to him though? He was there for a while, wasn't he?
Blame Taku? Taku Amazuki, I don't... He was there. Yeah, I see him there. Maybe there's something weird with the connection. I don't think he was actually banned, was he?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think any ban hammer went down on him.
That's weird, man.
Huh. I just assume it's a connection thing.
I don't know. We'll check it out, though. All right, guys, we're going to take off, though. I have to go to bed and try to capture what little sleep will remain to me this night. 3 hours. So,
All right.
we'll see you guys in a week and a half-ish.